welcome to another edition of the Successful Thinking Show. I'm your host, Christie Taylor, and this is an amazing show that gives me the opportunity for 30 minutes to highlight and spotlight entrepreneurs and business owners, giving a chance for them to tell me about their products, their services, events at the fraction of the cost of a commercial. It's extremely affordable, high quality interviews for only $100, and yes, it's conducted by yours truly. Now, if you want information, all you have to do is give us a call at 468-3858. If you're in the Memphis area, that is 901-468-3858, or send us an email to Christie at ChristieTaylorConsulting.com. Now, today I'm going to be talking to a fellow colleague in the PR media space. I want you all to help me welcome Sharon Brooks. She is none other than, first of all, we got a lot of years. I'm trying to make sure we stay in the right space because we know each other very well personally.
Yes.
But she's here today with a new hat on, Creative Director, Power Media Solutions. Welcome, Sharon Brooks.
Thank you. Thank you, Christy. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Now, of course, I know you have years. Again, we talked about how if you want something told, Sharon is the one to tell it.
That would be me. If you want it told, I'm the one to tell it.
Now, if you would, just kind of give us an idea of how you came into PR and marketing.
Sure. I actually started PR and marketing for other people. And I was an executive director of a nonprofit many, many years ago. And when you're in the nonprofit world, it's all about public relations and marketing. And I thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of it. And so I started helping my friends out, doing things and connecting them with folks and conducting intro meetings and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think that you had something to do with that many years ago. And so, so I turned the hobby and the love and the passion to the business. And it turned out, it's been successful ever since. So,
okay, let's talk about now this being a business-centric show, being an entrepreneur for many, many, many years. Can you kind of talk about the launching of the business, how you passed from hobby to business?
Sure. Love to talk about that because it's very important. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to have a hobby because a hobby you can put down. But when you understand that this is really a business and you want to be respected as such, there are some things that you have to do. You have to maintain that credibility. You have to have your infrastructure together. You have to have all your legal components together. It takes a lot of time and financial, resources that go along with that. So you have to do things a little bit different, but still have that passion and that love for what you initially started off in the beginning. And so you come from doing things on a lower level, hustling, you use that word loosely, hustling, to really making it a legitimized business where people know you, they respect you, and they know that you can do what you say you can do. So that's kind of how that transition happens. You go from hobby to being full-fledged in business, doing everything that you're supposed to do like any other business would do.
Now, with that being said, of course, because we're in the public relations and marketing and PR space, which is public relations, publicity, increasing a client's visibility, whether it's digital, broadcast, print. What are some of the things if a person is interested in establishing, going from just helping their friends, get the word out to actually having a business? What are some strategic things that they need to do to form the business when it comes to PR and marketing?
Strategically, their foundation needs to be set up properly. Even your structure, your SP, sole proprietor, LLC, corporation, all that kind of stuff needs to be discussed, and it needs to be solidified through legal. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to make sure you have all those things in place. Before you come to the PR person, that's very important. I've had many clients come to me and their structure is not properly set up. And so when you hire me, I'm going to ask all of the foundational questions, because when a PR person puts their hands on anything, if they misrepresent something, that hurts their credibility. So you have to make sure you have your foundation, set up correctly. You need to do your due diligence as a PR person and go and check. I don't care what you told me, but I need to go and check and verify, to make sure.
that the business is legitimate, that the whether
Yes.
you're doing an event,
Yeah.
product, service,
Right.
whatever it is, making sure that the business, even if it's a sole proprietorship, let's talk
Mhm.
about that, because most people, those are the people who really need, and sometimes don't know they need that type of assistance when it comes to PR and marketing. So if
Right.
it's a sole proprietor, how do you approach them? Because maybe they just went and got their business license. They got to have a name, probably put up a Facebook page, because a lot of people don't do websites anymore. So
Right.
how do you approach them? And what are some educational things that you can provide them today as a sole proprietor?
Well, I would definitely want to look at their social media space, their platform, their internet, just to see where they are across Google and all those kind of things. So I would do an assessment for that person, and we would talk about what the vision is and what their goals are. And most of the time, as a sole proprietor, it's really, really challenging for them to get ahead in that sense, because they look for sponsorships for people to give them money, and it doesn't work that way as an SB. So you have to be very, very careful with that. Your structure could make all the difference in when you're able to secure sponsorships versus my friends are going to give me some money because they feel sorry for me.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna throw something at you, because I
Yeah,
mean this is all about Power Media Solutions,
sure.
and I want to find out what type of solutions you would provide. Let's say a sole proprietor, they
Mm-hmm.
are a manicurist, nail
Mm-hmm.
tech, whichever one you want to say, and they
Yeah.
just ventured beyond doing nails at the house, and they've invested in a salon suite,
Right.
and they now have overhead. How would you approach this person who wants to cut through the noise and increase their visibility?
I would definitely find out if they have a following, if they could partner with someone, maybe a stylist, maybe a barber. They need to think along those lines of collaboration, because you have to think about it. Manicurists, people just don't say, hey, I'm going to go and get a manicurist. That's something you can cut out. That's like disposable income. It's not really a need, it's a luxury type service. So, being that it's that type of service, you want to try to make sure you have a built in connection of flow and traffic from some other means to help you be successful. And then I would also share with this person, again, what their social media platform looks like, if they're managing things properly. Help them develop a budget, because you got to have it. I don't care who you are. Marketing should be your most expensive, or you should allocate more dollars towards marketing, public relations and marketing in
Mhm.
every business, period. Because even if you suck, you can be out there and people can see you. And it's just what it is.
even if
Seriously.
you have, even if you leave those hangnails, they'll know that
Yeah,
they'll know you're out there.
doesn't matter. But
And
if you're
let's
out there
talk about
marketing,
that.
you're out
Now,
there.
okay, now that's one of the interesting things. I want to just stay along the line of that, that manicurist who now has their own salon suite, and you're
Yeah,
suggesting that they collaborate with maybe a barber or a hairstylist or someone in the fashion industry
yeah,
who will also refer clients to them. So
right.
once you said there's social media, we're not even going to give them a website. They are on Facebook. Maybe they got something on Instagram or Twitter. So let's talk about those sole proprietors, particularly, because we're going to jump to some others, and the use of social media and the ones that you would personally suggest a person like that should use.
Well, first of all, every business owner and entrepreneur needs their own website. Facebook does not belong to any of us. It is simply a platform. Okay. So if Facebook shuts down today, you've lost 136,000 followers. How are they going to reach you? Your website is your store. You have ownership. You allow people to come into your store. You can have the different rooms and things set up, which are the pages to, draw people and capture and, do what you need to do at that point. But Instagram, those are not that's not your website. And a lot of people kind of get that kind of confused and think that's where they need to be. It's great for social media, but you have to have your own platform. I don't care what kind of business you do, you need your own platform. because you don't own those others. Your website, you have full ownership.
So a lot of the content that you would put, whether that's the photography, the reviews from clients, should go on your own website. And websites can be extremely affordable. You don't have to get a
Right.
corporate size website. It could be a one pager with really nice graphics that can
Exactly.
complement your social media, but more importantly, it's the main source of information about your business. Now, I want to kind of trick you up a little bit. Okay, so now we've had this sole proprietor, and they really love the fact that you told them go ahead and get them a one page website, link it to all your social media, but tell
Mhm.
everybody to go there, book their nail appointments there. They've collaborated with all like that. So now that person has increased visibility, and then they tell their uncle about you and he and his wife have a food truck, and it's a partnership. They're not sole proprietors. They are a partnership. They used to own a restaurant, and the restaurant went the way of the dinosaurs when the pandemic hit, and now they have a food truck. I need to find
Yes.
out, what will you tell this husband and wife partnership who had a restaurant, but now they have a
Right.
food truck?
I would tell the same client always there's going to be an assessment done because I'm just that kind of person. I do my due diligence, going to ask some serious questions. And once we go through the assessment, I can determine what needs to be done. Maybe we need to look at some rebranding. If they've had a restaurant already, did the name change? Do they have the same name? Is the food the same? Is it a whole nother brand? All those things have to be determined. Then you provide the strategic plan of what you're going to do for them, before you kind of get them out of there, get them out where they need to be seen. Again, most people think that, oh, I have a business, people will come. No, that's a myth, not true. That's not
Mm.
how that works. Um, you have to position yourself in such a way where people desire or would make that decision to do business with you, spend money when they really don't have it, but they find a way to spend it because you're offering something that is just so unique that they want it. And so if you don't understand public relations and marketing and how those things are done and crafted, you'll be spinning your wheels all the time in
Mm.
trying to recreate yourself. And I've seen businesses do it every 90 days, and it is so sad.
Yeah.
And the money that you spend recreating yourself every 90 days, you could have put that money together in a budget and hired someone to assist you and put you on the right path so that you could get the power of your business. And so
Understood.
yeah, so most of
Now,
the time
Sharon,
people just
this
don't
is
know.
really good stuff. I like the fact that you said, number one, you in your assessment, is the restaurant name the same? Are you serving the same cuisine?
Yeah, it's
Even
important.
finding out, how are the people finding out where you are? Would you suggest, because so many people have moved to food trucks who are in the food industry, would you suggest that they find one location, or should they be part of more that, go to where the events are type of food truck? What's your advice to that?
It would probably be a combination of both. And the reason why I say that is because if you have a unique food truck, healthy salads, vegan, I'm going to use those two. You're probably not going to want to go, and people are going to get mad with me. You're probably not going to want to go to the hood because we like fried
Mm.
chicken. I'm just going to be honest,
We want
okay?
those ribs.
Yeah,
Un-
yeah, you want some
Unless
ribs.
unless you find a juice bar nearby,
Maybe.
maybe.
But you want to try to go into the markets where your food or your product will be more receptive. Why would you waste time, a whole 8-hour day, in a place where people aren't going to support you? So go to an area
So
where you know that
even with a mobile business, it's still location, 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 the
it
right
is.
intersection, the
It
right
is.
community. And then
Mhm.
I like the fact that you said that could be there 8 hours, but what about when there are events and those food truck rallies like that?
Those are important. And what the food truck industry people need to understand, just if any event and they charge booth space, when people come to you or they offer booth space, you need to be open to that Because think about it. You may have invested $1,000 in your food. You're going to walk away with 25, maybe 3,000. But you would not have known about the event had the person not told you. So how do you justify coming to an event and not paying anything and setting up shop, and you're making a profit, but you haven't paid or don't want to pay booth space or just the rent of the space?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that's
important.
important. Yeah.
Once again,
Again, you
that's
got to have a
even what a
budget.
lot of that I'm Sharon, that is so important because oftentimes even regardless of what the business or event is, if you have an opportunity to be part of a showcase or
Yes.
a like they have at the Agri Center or those type of
Right.
trade shows, if you have a food truck rally or an event where food trucks can get that space, you can
Yes.
then parlay that, am I correct, to and we're also Monday through Friday normally at this
Yes.
intersection at this time. I
Yes.
understand. Okay. So okay,
Exactly.
I got one more
Exactly.
for you. I have one
Yeah.
more for you.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So let's think. We've helped us the sole proprietor. This husband and wife partnership has formerly restaurant owners. Now they have a food truck. They took your advice. They made sure that the branding was consistent from the restaurant, or they rebranded totally, reintroducing themselves, and also, making if they switch from one type of food to now vegan food, healthy food, making sure they get to the right intersections, communities that can support them, location, location, location. And because you're mobile, unlike a
Mhm.
restaurant owner, you can pick up and go to those gatherings or tailgate parties. So it increases your
Right.
visibility. Would you also tell them to use social media, websites? What about that as well? In print, television,
Most
radio?
definitely. Combination. You need to use all of the platforms in conjunction. And there again, that's that word I've been talking about, budget, because it costs money. Um, I've had a client tell me, well, I'm just good. They just need to have me on. I'm like, sir, that's not how that works. Uh, no, it doesn't
I
work
am
that
so
way.
glad you said that because my background is radio, and oftentimes people get frustrated when they cannot get the type of media coverage that they want because they feel like radio and TV stations or newspapers or magazines, even podcasts, should just call them. So, can you
No.
please tell the public how it actually works and how you assist in getting them the media coverage they desire?
Right. Well, the process is you have a good product or a great service, you do something spectacular, you have something that people need to know about, you've invented something, you're partnering with something, you're doing some type of give back, community service, whatever that may be. You're putting on a full fledged event. The public relations team creates a press release. We make sure everything is good first. We create that press release, we submit it to the media. People begin to call, we book you, and we do things called pressers and blitzes and all that kind of stuff. And we get you on TV and radio because the press release has gone out, and oh my God, they really want to know what you're doing. That's how that process works. But not people just don't call you and say, hey, we want you. That is not how that goes.
Well, because oftentimes in a city, let's just say the size of Memphis, there are millions and tens of thousands of great stories, but
Yes.
we don't know you exist until your publicist or your PR representative or team contacts us saying, "Hey, Mr. Joe, who opened up a hardware store in the hood and has now hired um, formerly incarcerated." All of that builds a story,
It does.
and he now wants to do a give back, an event, a block party to let
Right.
people know the grand opening.
Right.
That gets some press because it's like, wow, number
Exactly.
one, he has recommitted to community revitalization. He
Yes.
has now found people who are typically underemployed an opportunity to be gainfully employed, and he wants to
Exactly.
give back to the community so he can build a relationship so that they can become consumers and customers in the future. Am I right? Is that about right?
That is correct. You are spot on, Christy. And for the life of me, for 20 plus years, people seem to still be confused about that process. And it's okay. That's why I'm here. Power Media Solutions is here to assist you because we know what that looks like. We know how to help you navigate from a vision, a concept, a true business idea and make it real, do all the due diligence, help you create that budget, educate you, and help you be seen and continue on with that success. We can help you with that. And that's how that works. But most people are just, they
Clueless.
don't.
But that's the
Yeah,
reason why
they
we're
are.
here today with this Successful
Yeah.
Thinking Show, to give you the successful ideas, thoughts, and beliefs to help you succeed in increasing your visibility, whether you are a sole proprietor, if you are a partner, have partnerships, and even if you're an LLC. Maybe
Yes.
you are that brick and mortar business or service company that is doing amazing things. I always like to tell people, create a story so the press can tell it for you. So it's always
Yes.
create a story to wrap around whatever your event is, your product, your service, your brand, and that's how you get comfort. There's one particular thing, even authors and comedians and creative entrepreneurs, you too can get in on this, but that's the reason why you hire Sharon Rooks and Power Media Solutions and PR and marketing companies. But even with that, I want to say that Sharon not only assists others with their events, she also has her own. As a matter of fact, I want to show you all something real. I love it. I love it. I love it. Of course,
Thank you.
as a full service PR and marketing agency, you also create opportunities to spotlight businesses. Can we talk about that as well?
Yeah, sure. I always believe in that. It's important to me. I started Jumpstart Your Business Memphis years ago. It was so great. With COVID and all these other things that have happened, people weren't coming out, weren't doing any networking and things of that nature. But it is coming back. 2023, people have asked about it, and I'm going to definitely, kick it up again. It's very important to spotlight businesses that are doing it right. And that's important because, again, if you're in public relations and marketing, if you misstep and you repeatedly misstep, that's going to hurt your brand and your credibility. And that spreads so fast. And it's hard to do a spin story to try to get those things back in alignment. I don't like doing spin stories, but sometimes you have to do them for clients. And I just don't want to be in that
And
type
just
of
for the
business doing
record,
it.
Sharon, for somebody who don't understand, it's like, what's a spin story? Just kind of break that down, educate them on that.
Well, a spin story is when you have negative press and you hire a PR firm to come and turn it around and make it positive. So you're going to go give some shoes away to a whole bunch of kids. And
Right.
we're going to help you facilitate that. That's what PR people do. So,
One of the many things, and increasing your visibility is also repairing your visibility or
yes,
reputation. So
yes, yes.
whatever people see and know about you in the public, that's what PR and marketing assist you with. Now,
Right.
also, I just want to make sure that we touch on Power Media Solutions. Just kind of give them an idea of the core services you provide.
Sure. Website development, business development, digital platforms, press releases. Um, oh God, we do some of everything: photography, graphic design, billboards, securing billboards, and understanding how that stuff works. Anything in that vein deals with marketing and public relations. We deal with event coordination. We do a lot of that. Put on some great events. Born to Win, the Tell It Now PR Marketing Conference slated for next year. So that's going to be fantastic because people need to go to a marketing clinic, and that's what it's called, a conference clinic. So you can actually get the help you need because we're not well in business. So
What
I
are some
want
of
to
the
help us get
missteps
well.
as a PR and marketing agency? What are some of the missteps you can just kind of share briefly and to kind of help a business identify if they need this clinic?
Sure. One of the missteps is I started my business in January of this year, and I don't understand why I don't have sales and why I'm not growing. Oh, okay. So you only work your business part time and you have a budget of $300 and you don't want to be on social media or you don't want to build a website. Um, and someone told you that you needed to start a business. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to, the mind, the direction, because everybody is not supposed to be in business. That is not true. Some people are just to be support for business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are resources to help business owners. Some people are meant to be just a mouthpiece to help the business owner, but not to actually be in business.
That is very, very important. And of course, for those who are interested in learning more and having a consultation, go to powermediasolutions.com. That's powermediasolutions.com. Schedule a consultation with Sharon Works. I know that she will provide you insight into how you can increase your business brand's visibility. Now, we are to the wrap up. And Sharon Works, I have a question for you. Now, the name
Sure.
of the show is Successful Thinking Show. And I would like to know what you consider to be successful thinking for you.
Successful thinking for me is believing in my heart and in my mind that I am supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. And those things can be measured. We can all have a good idea, but it has to develop into other things. You have to be willing to take risk, and you have to understand that whatever you believe in your heart and in your mind, are you capable of doing it? If it fails, will you stop? If it fails, is that a sign that you need to stop? You have to be honest in your heart and in your mind, because there are some times that you may not be able to carry that vision. It may be for someone else. And I'm a visionary. And so I'll create concepts that are given to me, and I'll hold on to them for 3 or 4 years before I launch anything. I don't do things just sporadically jumping out. I don't do that because I have to know that I know that I know that I know that I'm supposed to be doing this. Because when you jump out and it's not what you're supposed to be doing, it will fail.
Right.
Timing is wrong. You're not the person to carry that vision. It's just not going to work. And you got to be okay with that. So that's what successful thinking is for me, is knowing that I know and I'll have the signs and the cues to support that I'm supposed to move forward. And then I get it piece by piece by piece. It's very similar to what a minister goes through.
Mm-hmm.
That's how my visions come to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I get them, then I put the pieces together. He'll send me the people and everything else to put it together. And then I lock it down, and I may do it 2 years later. And that's how you get my signature events that people have not duplicated and they're probably not going to because it wasn't given to them to do.
Mm-hmm. Wow, thank you so much. That's beautiful. And for those who are watching, and maybe you are a business or a brand who would also like to be featured on Successful Thinking Show, I want to extend a personal invitation to you for a 30-minute TV show created for entrepreneurs and business owners to spotlight products, services, or events at the fraction of the cost of a commercial. Very affordable, high quality interview, as you've seen today, for only $100, conducted by yours truly. And let me tell you, you can use this, repurpose it on any platform, and you can give us a phone call, 901-468-3858, or send us an email to Christie at ChristieTaylorConsulting.com. And if you are loving my t-shirt today, I am supporting a local business entrepreneur, Jerry, Custom Tea by Jerry. All you have to do is go to ChristieTaylorConsulting.com. That's ChristieTaylorConsulting.com / custom tea by Jerry. That's JERI, Custom Tea by Jerry. Just go to the website, www.ChristieTaylorConsulting.com / custom tea by Jerry. And yeah, you can sport a tea just like me. I just wanted to make sure I told you all that. We're all about supporting businesses,
Yes.
big and small, and really appreciating you today for giving some very candid insight into what you do and how you can help from the sole proprietor on up to the corporate. And
Yes.
we appreciate you. Share any last words before we go?
Sure. If anyone wants to reach out to me, you can find me at powermediasolutions.com. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter. Just Google me and you'll be able to find me.
All right. Sharon Rooks, Power Media Solutions on the Successful Thinking Show.